All right, everybody, it's Super Bowl Sunday. What does that mean to you? To me, it means we're starting our seeds. Now, last year we went through a whole lot. We didn't have our seed trays. We ordered them from a certain person on the YouTube channel. By the time we got them, it was too late. I ended up planting in Karen's kitchen pans, you know, the baking pans. I'll never do that again. That wasn't good. She was very unhappy. Anyhow, so we have our trays. I'm gonna double them up so they're not flimsy and there's no water leaking. We have all of our cells. We have the ones with 4 and we have the ones with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the point is, this year, I have my trays, I have my cells, we have the domes, we have the grow light, we have the timers. So you know what I'm not gonna do this year? This year, I'm not gonna try to fill them with dirt that's got chunks of stuff and it doesn't work and I gotta pull sticks out and I gotta pull out pieces of bark. So, let me tell you, a while back I had this thought. We were watching that show Gold Rush. And I thought, hey, maybe we can go to the mountains and we could try doing some panning for gold. So I bought the pans, but I also bought these special screens. And there's 2 different sizes. There's this big, I think it's about 1/4 of an inch. And then I got the other one that's 1/8 of an inch. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run bucket loads of dirt, 1 handful at a time, through these little screens. So when I go to start my seeds today, and I fill my little seed cells, I'm gonna have perfect dirt. I'm not gonna have big chunks, bark, the seeds don't go in it right, this pops out, that don't work. This is gonna be our best seed starting season ever. I just know it. And I'm excited about it. And I don't care about the Super Bowl. I'm just excited to be around a bunch of other people that like the Super Bowl. That's good enough for me. So just join us as we get our seeds. Sticks. All the things that frustrated me last year have been handled. And now I'm grateful we did it the way we did. It was annoying trying to pull that stuff out one at a time last year. But check it out. Now, oh man. It's beautiful, it's light, it's fluffy. It's the ultimate seed starting mix. This is some beautiful soil, seed starting soil. We now have officially our first season seed starting soil screened that we made. This should be spectacular in all those little cells and those trays that we bought last year. Last year was a total mess, but you know what? This year is coming on. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Let's get these seeds started. See where we go. We're gonna get probably 6 trays done. I think 6 trays will cover all the seeds we need to start right now. Planted so many sunflowers. Last year, I really enjoyed it. I had no idea they're so strong. They 5, 6 feet high, 4 feet high, and they don't fall over. And they give you beautiful flowers, and it brought so many bees to the yard. And it's so, you can enjoy them from 60 yards away. You can look over and see sunflowers. So this year, we're gonna do a whole tray of sunflowers. Maybe 2 trays, I don't know. we'll just keep planting sunflowers outside and see how we do. All right, let's get some seeds planted. These are called a Rocky Mountain Bumblebee, and we got these seeds from our friends Greg and Carla over at Gracious Farms. And then we seed saved 2 years ago. I mean, they're only 2 years old. I'm sure we'll germinate. Plus, I'll put a lot more than 1 or 2 seeds in each one. And then I'll keep the strongest ones and cull out the rest. I'm gonna put probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 seeds in this tray, maybe 7 or 8, depending on how many holes I poke in there, but yeah, who am I kidding? I'm putting 4 or 5 in each one. You know why? The more the merrier. I got the seeds. They're not doing me any good in the seed bank. You have to grow them, and after you grow them, you save new seeds. So every year you have fresh about the Kellogg's breakfast. Paul Robeson and Kellogg's breakfast. If you want to make a sandwich, you can't go wrong. So let me go ahead and get these tags made. Oh, this year, instead of cutting up the almond milk containers and making tags, for a few dollars I got a couple of hundred of these, and I think for the rest of my life, we're going to use the ones we buy. No more playing games, cutting up milk containers. You know, we graduated. All right, I put probably 5 to 6 seeds in each one. And we'll take a couple of them because I learned this from watching some videos. People, they just plant them in a big tray. And then when they grow, they pull them apart. I don't want to hurt the roots, but right now we just got 8 cubicles, right? 8 little cells. If I take one bed and put 4 tomato plants in it, that's going to be more than enough. So we're going to have 2 raised beds just with this sunrise bumblebee. There you go. Thanks to Greg and Carla at Gracious Farms, we can enjoy these tomatoes. All right, Kellogg's breakfast, here we go. So this is Kellogg's breakfast from 2023, because I saved the seeds from that crop, and oh, they were wonderful. I'm gonna really load this up because I definitely want to make sure we have plenty. Big tip right now. One year we had about 85-gallon buckets with a tomato cage in each one, and we were growing all kinds of peppers. They were beautiful. We had pepper soup. I made pepper soup one day, and I laid them out on the counter. It was the most colorful thing you've ever want to see. 15 and 20 different shades of yellows and purples and greens and reds and oranges. It was beautiful. And then next year when we planted the seeds, every one of them was a hot pepper. I don't know how it worked. Somehow something got crossed over with pollination. Every single pepper plant would burn your face off. So I learned, when you're growing peppers, you have to keep them away from each other, or you definitely have to net those flowers. If you net the flowers and then you don't have to net them all, just a couple. So the following year you have some pure seeds. That's a big tip right there, to write that one down. You've seen our videos about our fountain and sweet grape. We have our own tomato, and I made a decision. I'm not going to go ahead and send them away to be genetically tested so I can patent them and all the rest of that, because no matter what you do, if you sell seeds and you think you're going to hold the market, it's a joke, because there are people out there who will save the seeds and grow it all on their own. So I've decided right from the get-go, if you would like to grow some indeterminate little grape tomatoes, they're called fountain and sweet grape. All you have to do is ask me for a mailing address. The red centerfloor tomato. Now, we've got these. I bought them online. They're coming from Tim's Tomatoes. Tim, I appreciate the seeds. I bought them. I'm going to try them out this year, and we'll see how we feel. If we like them, we'll keep planting them every year. I like to try some new things every now and then just to see where I stand. Like I learned, Karen loves the red peppers and the yellow peppers and the orange peppers. I'll never grow another green pepper again. Why bother? She won't eat them, and I'm not planting this garden just for me. So I'm going to plant the whole tray. It's going to be 2, 3, 4 different kinds of peppers. I'll plant 4 different kinds of peppers because we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to have like 15 different kinds of tomatoes. I might go overboard on tomatoes this year, but can I tell you something? There's nothing more exciting than going outside and picking tomatoes off a plant that you started from seeds. So this is going to be the first year we try these red centerfloor tomatoes. I'm going to plant 2 of these little 4-pack. I'm excited to try them. This is a brand new tomato. Never even heard of it in my entire life. And I'm excited to try them out. You know, we watch some other gardening channels and we see tomatoes and like the blue tomatoes. When we planted blue tomatoes, I thought to myself, surely they're not really going to actually be blue, but they were. They grew and they were blue and they were delicious. And you know what? They did fantastic when it got cold out. I bought these on eBay. I got, I don't know, 400 or 500 of these little things. I'm marking every single little cell. It's got 4 plants in it, it's getting a tag. It's not costing me too much, it's not taking too much effort. I'll save them, maybe I could reuse them next year. They clean right off. Little rubbing alcohol, you can clean that right off. But I'll tell you what, that's a big tip. Mark all of your plants, because you think you got them organized and something happens, some emergency, they move some stuff around, and then when you're out in the yard, you're like, what happened? I got all these beds with all these tomatoes, but all my favorite tomatoes, we had extra plants, we thought, so we didn't put them in the bed. So go ahead and get yourself the tags and mark every single, well, that's my opinion. You do what you want, whatever works for you. For me, I'm marking them all. Plant, and I'm just showing you how I do it. Like I said, some people, you got to do it exactly a 1/4 of an inch. You got to do it a 1/2 inch. So I put so many seeds in there, and I mix up the dirt. Some are down low, some are up high. But whatever is the healthiest one is the one that's going outside. The other ones, they're going. Anyway, I just finished this tray. We have cilantro or coriander, however you want to call it. We have white eggplants, black beauty eggplants, and purple basil. That's this tray right here. And you can see I dumped 2 little watering cans in the bottom. I'm gonna slide it over with a top. I'm gonna be forced to use one of these. Hey, you know what? Beggars can't be choosy. I'm glad I got something to put on top of it because I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks, plus we're not leaving till Wednesday morning, so you know, you're looking at 15 to 16 days. They need to stay wet. They need to stay moist. And the water will wick its way up to the seeds. And I already see a little condensation going on some of these other domes. Look. So some of those tomatoes already have condensation on the top. I'm going to put another full watering can. Each tray is going to have 2 cans. I've learned over the years to fill it up with two watering cans will last it plenty of time. The next time I'm videotaping after today, we're going to show up and we're going to show you what they look like after 2 weeks. We're going to plant our tomatoes and our peppers today that we grew in those little trays in the house, so I can go ahead and I can put the video together of our seed starts. You know, it's nice to put the videos up, but I feel it's educational if I show from the beginning till at least the end. I'm not gonna wait until I'm picking tomatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this video today. But right now, some of these beds, the tomatoes that fell off the plants are producing new plants this year. There's no reason to get rid of those plants. See the bottom of this? That's what was growing. But this was touching the ground. It was touching the ground and now it's got a bunch of roots on it. So we go ahead and we pull these low branches off. We go ahead, we dig a nice hole. If you don't like dirt on your fingernails, this might hurt your feelings. There we go. Now this bed last year, it had fountain and sweet grape. If I was a betting man, I would say that's what's growing right here. Fountain and sweet grape, they fell to the ground and they're growing. Why would I want to take some other tomatoes and put them in the bed since these tomato plants are thriving? and I didn't have to lift a finger. I didn't have to start the seeds, and they were a lot bigger than the ones we had in the house. There's a little one. Here's one. So we'll put 4 in here. That's all we need. We'll put 4 in here. And I don't know that Eddie does not want 9 fountain and sweet grape tomato plants. He wants the variety. So for right now, I'll plant him a couple in each pot, and then he can do what he wants with the rest of them. But basically, every one of these plants, let's show them this right here, Ant. These bottom branches, I pull them off. You want to be crafty and go get you a little pruner, plant 4 of these in this bed. But then we're going to put the camera down because I want Anthony to help me put these cages back on. I want to be careful that I don't break the plants because I broke one over there taking the cage off. So bottom line, these 2 beds are ready. And I didn't even use the plants that we started for the seed starts. These were all volunteers. Go. I was wrong. I did it by myself because Anthony was out in the front. It went in pretty easy. I guess I got the tomato plants far enough away from the sides. So if you look in here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 plants. Guess what? 3 of them are going to be gone. I'm going to let first whatever 4 take off. The other 3 are getting chopped. We're going to get some fountain and sweet grape out of this bed, no doubt in my mind. All right, these plants have been in these trays since we planted the seeds, or we sowed the seeds. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the seed sowing video where we started our seed trays in the house. I'll get a little extra video because I'm also about to plant them in the raised beds. I'm by myself. I don't have a lot of daylight. I don't have a tripod, so you're gonna get what I could try to do by myself. But I'll tell you what, it's hard because I have them in the workstation. And there's a roof over it, so they're not getting watered the way they should. And a couple of them have changed a little bit towards the yellow side. So it's definitely time to get these tomatoes in these beds. Right here. These are the new tomatoes I never planted before, red conifers. So, C-O-N-T-I-F-E-R, conifer. Point is, my Kellogg's breakfast and my fountain sweet grape. Yeah, it's time to get these tomatoes in their beds, and the peppers. The peppers are doing wonderful. Here's our red bell peppers. We already planted a couple in one of the beds over there. A couple of purples and a couple of yellows. So I gotta pull these cages off. I don't have any help, so I'm gonna put the camera down. Maybe I could rig it. Maybe I can get you some video. Miss Karen came to the rescue. So we have a camera woman, and she's gonna help me do some planting.
Hello.
So Miss Karen to the rescue. I was over there trying to prop the camera up, and I heard her voice, so she came out here to help me out. So let me pull these cages off, because if I pull these cages off, actually I'll probably do 2 at a time and put them back, and then I'll do the next bed. Snap the bottom branches off. And I'm gonna dig it up, and I'm gonna replant it. Oh yeah, this thing has got a stout stem on it. Okay, so remember what I told you is, even though this was growing like this, it's about to be growing from here up. And the amount of tomatoes and the health of this plant is going to be so much better. What do you think of that? Can you see that in there, Karen? Mm-hmm. Again, look at that little baby root system. So I'll pop that branch off. I'll pop that branch off, dig a nice hole, put this way down, and then all along here is going to be new roots. That is such a beneficial thing to do to your tomatoes, is to get them down. Get them down. You could either do it this way or you can lay them down. I don't like laying them down, so I don't like breaking the stem. You want to be careful. Now, these 2 plants in the next few weeks are going to be giant. This right here is, actually we have 4. Okay, I'll put all 4 of them. I don't have to come up with tomatoes for this bed, Miss Karen, because we have them. This is such a tiny little plant. I might let this thing grow, and then guess what? Pop it up and do the same thing. Look at that. Pop these 2 branches off. You know, I should just do it with my hands again. Not for nothing. Planting with gloves on is not so easy. All right, that's it. This tomato bed is ready for the season. I'm not amending this dirt this year because last year we went pretty heavy. I'll put the cage back on, and I'll put that angle piece in the middle, and we'll be ready to go. That's it. Let me get a piece in the middle. I'll put this in, and I'll probably also drop a tomato cage in here, because these plants are going to be over the top. What is this today? This is the 5th? Is this May 5th?
I'm not sure.
We're going to do some San Marzans and some Roma this year. She cooks them. Why not grow them? You're not going to get them like that anywhere else. This bed has gone down at least 6 inches. I'm going to let it ride this year because there's plenty of good nutrition in here. You'll see the tomatoes we get. You know what? This bed has 4 plants in it. 4 volunteers. A big one, a medium one, 2 small ones. We got 4 or 5. But this one right here, I have to dig it up. And if you look at it, it's growing along the ground. And by growing along the ground, it could fall over. So can you see that plant, Miss Karen?
Mm-hmm.
It's got plants coming off of it.
Mm-hmm.
we're going to snap these branches. I probably should cut them and start them and get roots on them, but it's okay because I have some that I grew for you in the trays. But this right here is 2 plants. Let's see if I can separate this one carefully. All right. Now this plant was growing along the ground and it was growing shoots straight up. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna get this down in the ground and start this thing from scratch. Watch this. Just imagine this whole thing is gonna be under the ground. It's gonna shoot roots out like crazy. Here we go. You got a good look at that? Miss Karen? All right. You know what this is, Karen?
What?
These are the pieces that are left over from when we made the cages. We cut the cages out of the long cattle panels.
Uh-huh.
And these pieces are strong. I don't have to stab them in. Because if you remember, all these beds have an underground reservoir, that plastic sheet.
Right.
So if I go sticking tomato cages in there and poke holes, we lose our reservoir.
Well, so you have the round cage and then you have these triangular shaped ones so that it gives them extra support.
Right. Well,
That's
this is
smart.
amazing. That's 2 more beds done. Blue Beauties and Paul Robeson, top of my list. Next, Kellogg's Breakfast. So I'm going to plant 2 beds of Paul Robeson and 2 beds of Kellogg Breakfast. That's what I want to do. I'm going to plant 3 or 4 beds of Romas for Miss Karen and some San Marzans. I just want to get a bunch of them in right now. Going in right here. And you'll just have to see the finished product. So thanks to this baseball field with all those floodlights, I finished all of the tomato beds on this side of the yard. I have Kellogg Breakfast is done, Paul Robeson is done, and Blue Beauties is done, Rome is done, Fountain and Sweet Grape is done. Now I have a lot of tomato plants left, and I have other beds that have dirt. I just gotta go around the yard, start planting them, but I think I'm gonna do it in the daytime. I do need to get a couple of flats of sunflowers planted. I'm frustrated because I really should do it right now, but it's dark. I can't really see the dirt. I don't want to screw up, so I'll wait till tomorrow. They're in water. At least because they're in water, they're getting ready to germinate, so that'll speed the process up. Hopefully tomorrow morning I'll get out here. I'll plant peppers. I have 3 pepper beds. One of them is taken over by those balsam impatiens. I'm just going to let that thing one big giant bouquet of flowers. 2 of those beds are going to get peppers, and then I got some beds back here. I have to plant our basil and our cilantro. That needs to get in the ground. I'll probably mix that in with the beds where the horseradish is. That horseradish is growing crazy. 3 foot, 2 foot, big thick leaves. I'm going to research how healthy they are in a smoothie. Anyway, you have a good night. Enjoy this video from starting the seeds to planting them in the ground. I'll do another video harvesting, but for now, let me get this out there because there's still plenty of time for you. 1 pot, 1 plant, 1 patio. You're never too old. You're never too sick. You're never too out of shape. You too might be out in the middle of the night in the pitch black with some lights, getting your plants. You see all that sweat? I don't even care. I've been sweating for an hour and a half. I'm ecstatic that these tomatoes are in the ground. If I went to bed tonight and these tomatoes weren't planted, I would have lost sleep over it. Tomorrow, I'm going to get the sunflowers planted. I'll probably get the basil and the cilantro planted and some of the peppers, and then I'll go to work. You have a blessed day.